Rahubat, my good brother.
Rahubat,
Long time.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Happy for you to come and have the one-to-one. Yeah, for the audience, me and my brother here, we go back a long time. Long time. But we haven't seen each other for a while because he actually lives abroad. But I'll let him introduce himself. And then, yeah, we get into having this long overdue conversation.
Long overdue. My gosh, too much to talk about.
Tyrone, it's been a long time, man. Let me let you introduce yourself and then we get into it.
Yes, so basically I'm now known as Tarun Haridas. That's my name now, my initiated name. That's the name that I was initiated in the Himalayan regions. We can go into that it's a long story. Loads to talk about. But yes, so I'm into metaphysics, spirituality. I run a company called Transcending Matters, which we specialize in retreats, workshops, NLP workshops, empowerment coaching retreats, empowerment leadership retreats. I've just been awarded by the LSMM University for an honorary exemplary Master's Award for my excellent contribution in the area of wellness and metaphysics and all of that. And so now,
Congratulations.
Yeah. So now I'm recognized as a empowerment leader, empowerment coaching, and also metaphysics teacher. My courses are now accredited, and I'm looking forward to doing some courses with your
platform. Yes,
yeah, that's definitely going to come in the future. Knowledge is so empowering. Knowledge is such a
you can't put it into words, isn't it? Because it says seek knowledge from cradle to grave, right?
Yes. And
so we're always learning.
Always learning. And starting my early foundational days was with this movement. You know, I learned of the Nuwabi principle, which was to go out there, learn knowledge, turn it upside down, see what works and so forth. I ventured out into the fields. You know, the 7 scrolls of Solomon, one of them being in the language of Sanskrit. And I said, you know what, I want to go out there and learn what this Sanskrit thing is to see if there's any resonance in it. And I'm really glad I did, to add to the fold of information. And it's been a really powerful transition in that sense, and learning the arts, looking into the deepness of the understandings of the chakras, sound healing therapy. I went to the extent of getting some Tibetan bowls, which
yeah, I've seen them, and sure we'll have a little taste.
Oh yes, absolutely. Very powerful. When you look into the science of things, you know, religion has done a lot of harm. A lot of harm. The core construct behind what religion is, being regional knowledge, is institutional power right across the board, no matter what country, no what creed, colour, so forth. And even when you look at countries as a whole, countries is a thing that people give name to country never name itself. So people, families, bloodlines, they sell this concept of, you know, you're for your country, but you're being patriotic to a bloodline, not necessarily to a country. And these bloodlines, they run to cults, they run to formations of religions. And, you know, just like that Nuwabi principle, you've got to be able to read in between the lines. You've got to work with the science of what is, not just what the culture says it is. And I'm only saying that in reference to especially the Sanskrit language and it's been, what's the word that I would use? It's been eaten away.
Okay.
Through the, this is very controversial, what I'm about to say. One of the biggest things that I have been, what's the word? Propagating is understanding the truth between the origins of Sanskrit and the Hindu religion.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the Hindu religion on its own.
I mean, to be honest, like I was saying, the audience It's a long introduction. We'll get into it. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Saken. I'm Saken. I'm following. he's a troublemaker, by the way.
I'm a troublemaker.
We know each other for a very long time, so you have to excuse us when we go off on a tangent.
Yeah.
I actually went
You came to
secondary school. Yeah,
That's
secondary
right.
school
That's
with
right.
with Tyrone. But yeah, for those who don't know me, I'm Saken, practicing Wu-Sabat, our culture, ancient culture that predates everything on the planet. But yeah, it's interesting what you were saying in your introduction about, you know, people claiming to be or taking on names of, you know, like countries, or the fact that you've been labeled a particular name by somebody else. And, you know, even if it's based on where you're born, it doesn't even make sense.
That's right.
Meaning, like, people say I'm Jamaican, I'm Nigerian, I'm Ghanaian, and I'm African, or I'm, do you know what I mean, whatever other country. And it's like, you ask them, why do you say you're that label or that name? Or like we were saying, religion, right? I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Jew, I'm a Hindu, whatever. And you ask them, why do they accept that? And a lot of the times will be either, oh, I was born there,
Exactly.
yeah, or you just grow up and your family is following a particular way of life and you just accept it. That I was born there is quite funny, because I ask people, well, if it's based on where you're born, if you were flying over the Atlantic Ocean or some type of ocean, and then your mother happened to give birth to you there and then where are you from? Where would you say you're from?
Exactly.
You wouldn't say, I don't know
In
what
the
you
middle
would
of the
say.
sky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You may have to use the longitude and latitude and get the...
Pin
But yeah,
code
so
number.
we what Tyrone is saying makes sense, that in Wu-Sabat we know that you're truly who you're made up of in terms of your energy being,
your soul
DNA.
signature.
You know, these are things that regardless of where you are on the planet, your DNA is your DNA. Your genes are going to be your genes. Your energy in terms of the being that you're developing into or from and into is going to be you. So I'm glad that, and you said another interesting thing about religion, that it's a control mechanism.
Absolutely.
And with that comes these books. And it's almost like, okay, if you're a Muslim, you've got to read this book called the Quran. If you're a Christian, this book called the Bible.
That's
and
right.
so on and so forth. And it's like, they can't then see outside of the confines of that book.
That's right.
So again, I agree with you in terms of, like, you seek knowledge, you just keep learning and learning and growing, and
you keep learning.
And you can go into anything and learn, but it doesn't mean that you stay there or you get stuck or that you don't look at anything else outside of that. So you're right. Wu-Sabat encourages us to do research, to look for the facts of everything, and then, you know, make our own mind and our own choice, and that we study everything and learn everything, so that you're not limited. You know, you can't limit your mind, you can't limit your knowledge. Literally, you can't limit anything, because the one thing that is constant
The
is
minute
change
you do that,
and growth.
you limit your potential.
Absolutely.
The minute you do that, you limit your foresight.
So tell me a little bit about your journey from when I knew you back then. As you said, we were known as Nubians, and we still are. It's just the B and the P is interchangeable, as you were mentioning when you study languages. So yeah, I remember you many years ago when you were walking and studying with Partner Babyanun, Dr. Malachi Ziyok, our master teacher. So yeah, just give me, because we lost touch, and then you went on your studies and everything. So just give me a little bit of your journey, like where you've been and what has led you here.
Basically, just like you said, I was with the family. I'm still consider myself a part of the family.
Of course.
You know,
Once a Nubian, always a Nubian. Yeah.
And again, that insight to work with the Nuwabi senses, I remember the books that Malachi York was putting out at the time, and a book came out about the chakras, which was really interesting. And the word chakra was a Sanskrit word. And I was like, okay. And I remember there was some other things about the Sanskrit languages or users of the Sanskrit language in terms of demons using the Sanskrit language. And in my studies, the only reason why the demons were using the Sanskrit language is because it's powerful and it works. Like demons ain't got time to work with rubbish. Demons are more on the program. They're more astute, they're more disciplined, they're more after about what they're after than some other people who claim that they're spiritual and are actually, they don't even bother to meditate, much less
Absolutely. The master used to put it like this, that the devil gets up very early.
Absolutely.
Very early before everybody else, and he's constantly at work and studying to perfect his control and mastery over
people. Those,
right,
you understand?
Yeah.
And these, outside of the devil, there's beings, there's
all types of beings,
souls that's going in the opposite direction. There's, you know, they are diligent in suppression, in the program of oppression and suppression. They're on it. Yeah. Now, that wasn't the ultimate reason for reading or getting into Sanskrit. But it was really interesting at the time when Dr. York had highlighted about the chakras. It was in a little green book.
Okay.
And it was almost like a dead end to the study of Sanskrit. The other thing that he was propagating was go out there, read.
That's right. He always said study every language, study everything.
You understand?
Question everything.
Question everything. And the thing that was really interesting about the Sanskrit language, number one, the character Krishna, the black one. I'm like, oh, the black one, interesting. Now, the black one could have many connotations in terms of the black one being the source.
When the black is using a negative connotation, or as black as in a color or person, etc.
Yeah. So in this sense, I thought, I'm going to give it some kudos, because the black one, in no matter how we look at it, has had so much vilification, so much demonization. Anything black is wrong, blah, 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 blah. And I've said, you know what? I'm going to take a look, because there has to be a reason why one of the 7 seals of Solomon was in Sanskrit. He must have known what, he's a lot wiser than... Somebody said, come on, I go looking at this Sanskrit thing. And the other thing that was interesting at the time when looking at the word chakras, at the time when it was brought to us through the school, there was no other word in either cuneiform or any of the languages that we were speaking that meant chakra. So I was a bit, okay.
But at that point, had you come across that chakra word before?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, continue. This is very interesting.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I'm one of those minds that you can put something in front of me, but don't just leave it there.
Yeah, inquisitive.
It's inquisitive now. Like
you're gonna go and try and
you understand. So the only word that I got back from in conversation was seats, and I was like, no, that's an English word. And English is confusing already.
As it is.
As it
is. With all them silent letters that nobody keeps silent.
You understand?
No. Why you have the K there? If it's no, it's just no, innit? I hear you, but go ahead.
You understand? So, I mean, the English word seats means something that you sit down on.
That's what the confusion.
You understand? It's not something that...
Yeah.
You understand? Because chakra refers to a wheel. So I thought, you know what? I need to delve into Sanskrit as a whole, and it's not. I think the benefit that I had at the time of looking at Sanskrit was, number one, the Nuwabi scientific mind. And
you see, with Nuwabu, you mentioned the green scroll. Do you, by any chance, remember the name or the title of that? Yeah, if you can. If not, it'll be interesting to.
It was a little,
like a little small
book. A5 size.
Yeah, I remember those are we refer to them as the $5 scrolls back in the day. But
Yeah.
I'll have to look into it. Maybe it was in one of it was mentioned in the title, but not necessarily actually called chakra in terms of the book.
No, the book wasn't called that.
Okay,
The book
yeah.
was highlighting that.
Right. Okay. I want to try and find it.
Yeah.
And anyone watching, if you know what book we're talking about, put it in the comments. All right. So we want to find this book.
Yeah.
But continue.
So all the demonization that came with it, I decided, you know what, instead of taking on face value the demonization of things, I'm going to look into it myself and find out what's the resonant truth about the language and what it is intuitively leading me to understand. Is there any truth in the resonance of the mantras? Is there any truth in the resonance of its meaning as a whole? And surprisingly enough...
Don't lose that point right there, because in my travels and journey as well, I would come, because you mentioned the mantras, I would come across people who, like maybe at a workplace or something, and I knew one particular lady, and she would do these mantras, these chants religiously. At the time, I didn't really know what they were or was associating them with Hinduism or anything. But the point is, like, even when we look at Buddhism, because the reason I'm saying that is that when people, black people, study or they come out of Christianity, Islam and so forth, and then they're looking for like more enlightenment, if we use that word, or more knowledge, they often would go towards Buddhism or like to Hinduism, right? And when you see the picture of Buddha, even by the master in the holy tablets, you see him with his China bumps. And a lot of people don't realize he was black. So going back to what you were saying, with the whole, you looking at that Krishna being black and, you know what I mean, being, so it's just interesting, that point that your journey actually follows what a lot of black people who come out of religion in terms of Christianity, Islam, they kind of go either towards Buddhism or to, I wouldn't say you went towards Hinduism per se, but obviously Krishna is known in that kind of Hinduism
and that's another
context.
And that's another deep science in understanding Krishna's positioning in the Hindu concept, and we'll go into that. I'll briefly touch on that.
Okay.
But just to wrap up on where and how I found myself in the deep end, looking at the word chakra. And then coming across words like
That's what another thing I hear people do a lot.
Hold on, okay.
And we used to chant on the land, the pyramids used to constantly play.
So I'm thinking, okay, there's so much similarities here. What's going on? I need to dig deep. And going into looking at Sanskrit and the volume of publications in Sanskrit, it's a library of 64,000 books. And those 64,000 books literally cover many continents. It's not just one continent as we know it. I then then went on to realize that, you know, there's this concept that Hindus and Sanskrit is one, which is Hindus speak Hindi. They don't speak Sanskrit. Hindus chant or speak Sanskrit as a point of, like, they don't translate Sanskrit into Hindi, which is something that you really need to sort of stick a pin there as a point of reference. Why? Because Sanskrit on its own is known as a language as Devanagari. That is the language of the vibration of the gods. So in this sense, Devanagari or Sanskrit is a language that is referred to by Tibetan monks, Chinese. It's actually the mother tongue for over 400 languages, including English, including some of the African languages as well, including. So that library of 64,000 books, I was like, where's the library? I need to find this. And just like you said, the Buddhists. I started studying the Buddhists and realizing the history of the black Buddhists in China. the black lineage, the first empire in China was actually black. And the Sanskrit resonance going, so we've got China, we've got India, we've got Tibet, and all of these places were nourished by what is now known as the Dravidians. Now these Dravidians, quote unquote, are now, is the modern day Hindu slave. They are the original, they'd be known as the South African, give me a minute, South African indigenous society. Yeah, not the North Indian indigenous. The North Indian and the South Indian are made up of two different caste systems, and this is the South Indian that.
Yeah, I know. Two quick points before you carry on. Very quick. You touch on language, which again, as you know, we spoke Nuak at the time. Most knew as Nuapic or Nuabic, and now we have this book called. I've literally taken it apart. That's how much I studied. But it's called The Language of Time, and it's interesting what you're saying. If I may just show you, so it shows you the original language, and then it goes and it shows you the. I just want to show you the for the listeners as well, the Sanskrit part of it. So there's a lot of introduction in terms of, there you go. You know, in terms of
the timeline.
Yeah, but I'm sure like King will probably show this image. But there you go. So the first, there's your Sanskrit there, right? So we're talking about. That was one of the points in terms of this language that we refer to as Nuapit or Mispatia in our tongue. It's the first, in fact, I should hold this up. It's the first language on the planet, and Sanskrit is one of the oldest coming out from this. Okay, just show you a little bit there. And this is where, if you start to look at the different scripts, the the Chinese, all the different scripts that you see, even the cuneiform, as you mentioned, all kind of go into it. But it's such an important point you're making, because when it comes to the planet and knowledge, information that's been recorded, you will find lots of ancient libraries, as you said, where you had the Zoroastrians, the Mayans, the Sumerians, the Phoenicians, and of course ancient Egypt, or what we know as Tamaray, Kemet, etc., etc. And what you will find is, and I recently found out about what you were just saying. Well, not recently, I've heard about it, but it's become more prominent recently, that everywhere you go, even China, like this is what I'm saying, like it's all over the internet and social media, that the indigenous people would be the Negroid. Everywhere you go, even if you go to Alaska. So there is a hidden history or a distortion of, like you're saying, knowledge of the indigenous people, to who today people are looking at and calling the indigenous people, who are no longer the original indigenous people. So people get pushed away. Even in Egypt, you go to Egypt now, you see a lot of caramel looking people, and they don't really take you, or most people don't know about like Aswan, where the darker people are, because a lot of them were driven away or driven out. So you go to Cairo today, you just see more of the mixture. But the point you're making is so true, that the black stories are distorted or pushed away or hidden, and the fact of the language and the library, because again, when you look at any culture with a rich history of knowledge, etc., they will have a library. They will have things recorded. So ancient Egypt, we've got the pyramids, you have many, many writings. Sumeria, they're finding a lot of tablets. And of course, let me let you continue where you left off about the library of so much information that you started to look into. Go ahead.
Yeah, and even down to the point of when I was getting into it, there was something that was happening in the media, which was really disturbing. I don't know if you remember it. The American government had teamed up with the Chinese government to beat up and burn down the Tibetan monasteries and the monks.
Okay, I kind of remember something briefly, even though...
Remember?
Yeah, something about, because a lot of those indigenous people either get pushed away, because even like the Olmecs, or when you go to any of the ancient sites, there's a lot of whitewashing, even in ancient Egypt,
Absolutely.
and trying to get rid of evidence. Wars are, wars are, they destroy tablets that they find on purpose so that the world won't get to know or get this information.
For me, the biggest culprits of whitewashing are the Hindus.
Right. Okay, let's hear this. This is interesting. But no, actually, it makes sense. You know why? Because a lot of times people will talk about blonde hair, blue eye beings, like the Nordics, etc., tying to Hitler and all that kind of stuff. But they don't see the connection, as we say, between Asian and Caucasian. So for what you're saying there, it hits right on the top of the nail, because that racism that goes on, or should we call it colorism, it's crazy. Because even in Jamaica, you have this same thing, and it's not even, I wouldn't say a coincidence, because when you say who's taking over Jamaica, it's like Chinaman, right?
Yeah.
But you look at the and when you look at the islands, we have to say it, a lot of the roti and the things we eat tie right back to what you could call the Dravidians or the Asians. So that's actually very interesting. Continue, my friend. This is very interesting indeed.
So in terms of the whitewashing, there's no bigger, guiltier culprit than the Hindus.
Because even the word Hindu is not, initially it wasn't even a religion, because it was the Phoenicians that looked at the people that were beyond the Indus River, and they labeled them Hindus. So they weren't even a religion until, as you say, they got labeled. And that labeling came from the different traditions of the different tribes who then, this story is like a repeat of everything. Because even when you go to America and you see like what we call the native
Indians.
Well, they call them American Indians.
That's right.
Which is the change from the Native Americans. And then Sheng and the Sheng dynasty, they came into America and mixed in with the Olmecs that were already there to produce what people now call Native or American Indians. And you look at them, going back to what I said at the beginning, the DNA, the hair, their hair doesn't have 9 ether, it just has the hollow ends. But they were mixed with the Olmecs who had the 9 ether hair. Hence, a lot of people today will say, I'm American. I came from America, from one of the plantations or one of these, what they call tribes, but not realizing that was the time when the mixtures and the watered down and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
So go back to the colorism and how, when you did your research, where did it take you from there?
So I realized that there was a lot of resonance and truth to adhere to in the power of the Sanskrit language. Okay. But not necessarily practice like a Hindu. You don't have to be...
Right, because it's dealing with the tones and vibrations rather than...
Exactly.
Right.
So even when I chant Sanskrit, people, it sounds more African than...
Right, because the Om, this is enough. Remember, we keep trying to let the audience study and research, because you have to look into these things. Om is spelled in 2 different ways. In fact, more ways, but the prominent 2 ways is OM and the AUM. And even in just looking at the 2, it's just like you will always tell when there's been a hand or distortion or a change in things, because the names change and the language changes. But Om, as you said, is known worldwide as a universal tone.
Anchor point, yeah.
Anchor point, which, like you said, the monks, the Tibetan monks, they chant it, and on our land we used to play Om. And so yeah, it's really about the tone and the vibration. And both of us go back as musicians many, many years ago. So when it comes to tones and music,
Serious
we're
thing.
very well on there in terms of what you're saying. Yeah, so it's the tone is the vibration, and if it's done by one person, it's going to have a completely different effect
That's
to when
right.
it's done by someone else. Because your whole being is actually programmed and built around your mass, your tone, your vibration. So
Exactly.
everyone is
Your
unique.
energetic signature.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm studying, I'm realizing there's something,
Not quite.
you understand? There's face value, and then there's energetic value. And at some point you have to say to yourself, okay, you have to make the sacrifice. You're at the it's almost like you're looking at the swimming pool.
But you're going to jump in.
You have to jump in.
Yeah.
You understand?
So you either sink or you
have a sink or you drown. You understand?
When they say you die or you swim or you drown.
Yeah, one of the two. So this is where I decided.
But that's such, you're raising such good points. It's actually interesting that when you're a baby, you're in water, right? In the sack of your mother's womb, and then like you're swimming. You don't worry about drowning then.
Exactly.
So now you're here. Now you see the pool. You think if I jump in, I'm gonna drown.
Yeah.
You came out of water.
Exactly.
You're born in water.
That's where I had that fearless thing.
Yeah.
To say, okay, this is unknown territory. Can't see none of my brothers them are not now. All right.
We jump in.
We jump in. So
You're still here, so
I'm still
so
here, yeah.
you didn't drown.
I jumped in
Yeah.
and I went for initiation.
Okay.
Instead of just, like, I went for initiation at the highest level of what I understood initiation to mean through the Vedantic principles.
Yeah.
And there were 3 levels.
Yeah.
The first level
You
was...
look like Chris Tucker in I'm just looking at the Shaolin. I think we're gonna get into some of that a bit later because the way you dress, you look like, but man, you chopped me. But carry on, yeah.
So the initiations, there were three levels. The first level was about the cleansing of the
So
heart
where was
state.
this initiation?
Himalayas.
Okay.
Yeah.
You kind of jump, like,
Okay,
you
yeah,
just
yeah,
fly
yeah.
to, you
Yeah,
have to
but
tell
it's
us, how did you get from wanting to
Airport.
know more to be to the Himalayas mountains?
No, I'm going in.
Yeah.
I'm not doing any...
The same way as you went into Nuapu with jumping, study,
at
research.
the deep end,
right.
not a shallow end, not through something like ISKCON
Hearsay and
or some Hindu temple down the road. You understand? I wanted to see the sadhus, the siddhis, the people who are really practicing off circuit, those that are really
Off the grid.
off the grid.
Yeah.
I want to talk to them man there. You understand? And get a different, because they're not working
It's true,
from
because it's going to be the same. Like, if you want to go and study martial arts, you don't go, you know what I mean? If you go there and look at the natives and talk to the people, yeah, I get that. Even when I went Jamaica, when I go Jamaica or anywhere, like, I'm not one of those, we go 5-star hotel,
and sit down
and that's like you're
Create that
in an
environment,
enclosed
yeah.
garden. We want to go and meet the real. Even when I went Egypt,
Exactly.
I went everywhere. I went to Aswan, Luxor. I went apart from like Shimashaya and the kind
Yeah.
of tourist place because I already don't know what that's going to be about. So
Yeah.
please continue, but you have to go to the source.
Yeah, to the source. And the interesting thing about what attracted me to the source, especially with, our kind, and that figure, we have elders in our community that once they reach a space of renunciation, which is detachment from the world, they might lux up, they might...
But that we have to come back to that one.
We'll
It's
come
like you're
back
going
to that.
backwards. If
No, I'm just saying.
yeah. But they'll
Culturally-
just decide like.
Yeah, you understand?
Let me
they
go
they
and-
might lux
or-
up, they
yeah.
might... Because, not everybody that has locks would say that they're a Rasta or a this or a that or a Naya
Well,
Bingi or
there's a
whatever.
different from
I know.
dreadlocks.
But I'm just- And dreadlocks. You understand?
The dreadful locks.
Dreadness. You
Yeah.
understand, right?
So I hear that.
But
yeah.
as a sort of...
As a conscious someone that's coming to the
Yeah.
We use that for now. And like,
Yeah.
you know, I was saying darkenment because it ties into what we're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
So, and one of the things that I saw, which was a familiar thing, again, the sadhus of India and of the Himalayan regions, they had the locks and so forth. And the other thing, they're blook.
You can't even say it, it's bleak.
They're blook.
Go ahead.
And they don't want nothing to do with the average
And anybody.
caramel looking.
Really? Okay.
I'm serious. Blook.
This is what we call supreme darkness, supreme blackness, black. Like we just come from the sun.
You understand?
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, okay, let me hear, let me see. What can you show me? Teach me something. Tell me something.
Yeah.
And at the time I had locks.
Yeah.
And there was like, because I had locks, they felt a sort of connection.
Yeah.
And they said, you come, tourists, no.
Wait. You still haven't told me. Is this now when you're over there?
Yeah.
But how did you get from just doing a bit of research to end up in the Himalayan mountains? There's a gap missing.
There's
so you didn't.
There's research, there's people.
You didn't meet any. Okay, but you want to kind of
Yeah,
concise.
yeah.
All right, let's get to the nuggets.
Yeah. So, they've taken me out of the circle of tourists and all of that, and I'm inside their sanctuary, in the sanctum, and blown away. They told me about the head guru and so forth, and the things to expect in my initiation, the 3 levels of initiation. The first one was the cleansing of the heart, which is, as we go through life, we pick up sensory information, which darkens the heart because of how we...
But when you say darken, you're not meaning in a negative connotation, or you say because we started off on the black and the
So when I say darkens, when I say darkens,
because that's kind of seemed like a dark heart. It's like you're not.
Yeah. So when I say darken the heart,
it's not positive.
No, it's not positive at all.
Okay.
In the way I'm.
In the way it's been used as most use it. Okay. Yeah.
So in Sanskrit, there's a, what do you call it? Call it a catchphrase that describes how your energetic signature should be.
Right.
And it's Sat, Chit, Ananda. Yeah. Sat, S-A-T, which is truth.
Yeah.
Chit, C-H-I-T, which aligns with Chitta, the flow of memory. So that is relating to your quality of existence. Yeah. So you're in full appreciation of your existence, and you are living in your fullest truth, and you are in your highest bliss, Ananda. Yeah. Now, the first initiation.
Yeah. Sorry. So the heart was, and then you said the word black heart as they transcribe. Darkened heart.
Yeah, darkened
is what you've just described as.
Yeah, so it's to cleanse the lens of the consciousness of the heart, so you can resonate in your bliss.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what they would refer to as dark heart.
Yeah. That's the first initiation.
So as in the true meaning, not the distortion of it being a negative thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in other words, become more light-hearted.
Yeah.
Find that space where you love to do what you love and love what you do.
And as we conversate and the conversation is moving forward, I keep saying it, we are first, we as in the darkest people, and everything comes from us, and that's not even a debate. So I can see how all what people are calling religions or ways of life or whatever coming from Miss Batia in terms of Wu-Sabat, in the sense that all we talk about, this during the alignment, the heart is referred to as ashok, the heart seat, because with that, that divine love, unconditional love for everyone, everything, and all. Without that, you are not going anywhere.
You're not going
you see?
anywhere.
So
you can't
already,
plug in.
do you see the synchronicity in terms of how
because if you
they
can't
draw it
relate
from
to
us?
that,
Yeah.
you can't
the heart
relate.
seat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't relate to the metaphysician within. That's very important.
Very important. Yeah. So your heart, it all starts from, and no matter what walk of life you walk, you hear that story about where were you first? Where were you first? You see? Where does it start first? Nowhere else but the heart. If you don't have that love. And even in English, on a everyday talk, people say, even the songs, the Beatles, there's nothing without love. Love is about everything about love.
Exactly.
But we know there's always a distortion where the negative side, like they will say, turn love phonetically backwards, you get evil. Because love is now made to be all about lust and, you know, like Valentine's Day love. But we know there are different types of love. And that divine one, the highest one, is what you're describing. It's called ashok. And without ashok,
you can't plug in.
you can't plug in. But let's keep going. Yeah.
So that's the first initiation.
Right.
That you can actually sense it. A lot of people hasn't sensed self.
Yeah.
They're sensing their emotions. They're sensing their intelligence. They're sensing their moods, but they haven't sensed their heart.
And so if one was, I'm talking about in terms of the initiation, yeah? If one's heart wasn't, for the lack of a better word, good, then through the initiation, do they help you to then transform that?
And
if you already had a good heart, the initiation, what does it do? It gets you to be more in tune and
it stabilizes your vibration. It stabilizes your vibration so you can be constant. You know, and so the next level from there is the cleansing of your inner senses.
The second initiation.
The second initiation.
Right.
So you got cleansing of the heart and then the cleansing of the inner senses.
Right.
So think about it. If the heart energy is corrupt, if the metaphysician energy is corrupt, you could be that type of person that could end up arguing with a plastic bag.
Some people actually, when they try to argue, it literally feels like you're talking to a plastic bag or a brick or something, because there's that no connection, no emotion, no love, and you're just thinking like, this is not about the words, it's about that vibration, that feeling. Do you get it? Do you really know what real ashok is?
Exactly.
Divine love is. And like you say, when you're breaking you down metaphysically, or we're going into what we call quantum mechanics now, where you go into the deeper, minute being of you, because you're composed of these little nuctas or little dots that you can keep going and going and going, and no matter how small it is, there's still more to find out.
To discover.
So when you recognize yourself as that heart to tie into everything else, the second initiation is dealing with, we say in Wu-Sabat again, the alignment. You got the one sense that you're familiar with, touch, which is all like just touch, yeah, awareness. And then you got your higher senses, which are attached to your real inner being. People call that your spirit, your soul, your etheric being. But those senses, where we say clairvoyance, telepathy, intuition, psychometry, these are your higher senses, which you still have a remnants of, because it wasn't fully taken away from you. So again, I'm just showing how the alignment. When you're dealing with knowledge, not from the dogma of labels, Hindu, Buddha, Christian, Muslim, all of that. When we move that aside and focus on the things that are
the steps.
That's right. That are we're more alike than unalike, or we're more in agreement than disagreement. But go ahead. So that second initiation. What happens if you didn't pass the initiation? The first one or the
It's
second
not so
one?
much don't pass. There's a sense
Or not
of,
ready.
There's a sense of readiness that rises within you as you go through the skill sets, the
Right.
practices, the meditations, the mantras and so forth.
Okay.
Let's say, for instance, the first initiation was an initiation of 16 mantras. Now, are you going to do them? Or not?
I guess that's like when you're learning a musical instrument. Are you going to practice your skills or not?
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
They bought in.
You understand?
They're going to take a lot of work. But
Right.
how badly do you want to play the instrument
Exactly.
and understand music? So yes, I get it. So yeah, so you have to decide if
Exactly.
you're gonna, and it's the same we do in Wu-Sabat with the chants and even the initiations in ancient Egypt. You had to go and be initiated in the pyramids and all of that. So
That's right.
again, you see where it's all coming from. But go ahead.
You have to have the discipline. You have to have your learner autonomy tuned in and turned on. And the thing, again, not being born in the culture gave me an advantage.
It's the same when we were going through the school of like Islam, right?
Yeah.
Because most Muslims are not, they're born into it. So they don't need to put an effort. They just, it's handed to them on a plate. And for them, a lot of them take it for granted.
granted, to
So
think
with
that-
us, this is why when the master took us through the school, we had to learn the Arabic because we were not born into it. They say when you see the masses converting into Islam, that's near the end, right? So we were converted, but we were like, let's study these books, let's study the language, let's really understand it so that when we go out into the world and we're conversing and speaking with people, we're not talking from, oh, someone told me. We're talking from, we actually took the time
Realistic.
and we felt it and had the passion to be disciplined.
Take the next step.
Right.
Oh,
And
this
everyone, you
works,
see,
well
even the Honorable Elijah Muhammad with like the Nation of Islam, that were very disciplined. Even if you don't agree with what they were wearing and all of that, but they looked sharp, they were in uniform, they were working in unison together. That's just to show you that when we move the labels aside and deal with the realness of things, we're more in common than we are.
The steps are the same.
All right, so yeah, continue.
Yeah. So again, that
Discipline, you learn all of them.
discipline, and you're eager because you want to you want the results more than the locals who were born into it and are taking it for
I
advantage.
take it as you learn and mastered one, you got the benefits of it anyway.
course.
So then it will make you want to be like, let me
Of
learn the
course.
next one. The same thing as
Yeah.
we have to make things clear so people get it. When you hate scales, after a while, it becomes like that. It's like it's
butter.
training, and you've been mastering the tones because you had to play it so many times. So it's like it becomes second nature. So you just feel it, and you can start thinking, oh, let me make a beat out of the scale. Let me do something that's going to make it interesting to help me with the discipline of learning my basic foundations, which is the scales. And then you use the scale as a vocabulary. You start to build up your vocabulary. English is the same. You learn the alphabet, then you start putting little words together, then sentences, and then a paragraph, and then you can write a whole book, right? It's the same with music. You get your basic scales, your foundation, then you learn how do I take, the musical alphabet, combine them into chords and melody and rhythm, and everything comes afterwards. I keep going, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, the really powerful thing about what you're saying, especially with the scale concept, because this is giving you your ability, in music is known is the ability to solo or to come outside the box.
Be by yourself and be free to express yourself at that moment.
You understand? So the more that you're doing these drills, if you want to call it, these affirmations, these mantras and these things, and you're thinking, oh.
Do you know what? I just got some, what we call a DNA explosion in terms of what you're saying. When you said, the scale, right? As simple and as basic as it is, if you apply that now to everything else, like the different realms, you're dealing with scales. Temperature, you're dealing with scales. For everything, mathematics, you're starting with the basic formulas. So look at everything else. Music, we just touched on. Vibrations, name it. It has the scale. where you can go from, we obviously know we get to 9, but 9 is not the highest number because it starts again. The 10 is another cycle. You get to 19. It's another cycle. You just keep going. And we say 9 to the 9th power of 9 because it's infinity, as they call it. And you get to a point where there's no beginning, there's no end. As in when you're going into the atoms, as we were saying before, it just keeps breaking and breaking and breaking and breaking. But yeah, that was a very good, what we call a DNA explosion for me, just looking at how simple something is. Yeah. But as you look into it more and more, you start to see levels and levels and levels and levels of the fact that, not to be controversial, but there's 7 notes in the scale, right? Plus the octave, the 8th.
Yeah.
But with those 8 notes, all the songs you've ever heard in the world are written from
within there. Yeah.
That's how deep it can go. It's like
That's
it's
crazy.
only really one song in the world
about it.
if you think about it.
Exactly.
But
and
go
this
ahead.
is how I see things like language, formulas, a mantra, because you've got basically, as conscious beings, we're input-output filters. We input, process, output. What is the effect of the input? Is it making you...
are you aware of the input? Are you aware who's doing the
pressing your buttons?
inputting?
Yeah, you understand?
but again, looking at computers, right? This is what we say all the time. It's like a basic computer system is input, CPU, process, output. The rest, like storage, hard drive and all that, that's getting a bit more complex.
Yeah, those
but
are
just the
like
basic
functional...
continue. So input, process, output.
You understand? And if you look at it as simply as that, throw away all the cultural references, all the
whatever
names and labels, and just work with the core principles of what's being shown at you. Just like I think it was once described. Let's have a look. This is a source.
Yeah.
This is a source. As the book is the source. The inside the book is what's known as the medium. And this medium is...
Whoa. Remember when
right?
we said, you're right, but I just want to clarify something. Remember when we just said input, output?
Yeah.
Who's sending or touching the button to do the input? Because in that example you just gave, there would be an author who then put into the book and then the book. So who would be the source?
Well, there's so many questions about who would be the source going back over time. And when you're looking at a library of 64,000 books, you can't say one person wrote all of that.
I don't even mean like that in terms of a person, but I'm saying, like, for example, if I took the analogy we just gave with the book.
Just work with me.
Let me work with you and then I'll come back if I need to so you can flow. Go ahead.
There's going to be a point where the passing of information is relevant. You're not going to be able to speak to me, but you can leave something for me to pick up and go, it's like you see a picture of a man with a rod and a fish at the end of the rod. And you're looking at the picture and you think, I wonder what that means. And then you go out fishing and you can't catch no fish. Yeah. And you go back and you look at the rod again. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, he's learned something that I haven't learned.
This is not just artwork.
Yeah. Go and read The Walls of Ancient Egypt, okay? Pictures. It's pictorial, but we get the message.
You understand?
If you're clever enough to decipher it.
It's just a picture.
Yeah.
But it's not a film. It's not a motion picture.
It's just one picture.
One
frame.
One frame. Yeah. How are you going to decipher it? Yeah. You understand? What does it mean?
What does it take? Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So in this way, words are very much the same thing because it's all symbology.
And so in that example, the man goes back to try and catch the fish.
He said, and he goes, hold on, let me
get a string.
And all of a sudden he can catch fish.
Put a hook on the end.
You understand?
It's on the picture. What's that little thing? All right, work it out. Now we can catch fish.
So
You
you understand? So there's many ways of communicating from consciousness to consciousness. It doesn't necessarily have to be words.
Words, absolutely.
And the most powerful...
In fact, words are the problem.
Words are the problem.
Yeah, it
the
became...
biggest...
But if we didn't speak right now, we're not going to understand us. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And the biggest influence to consciousness is actually symbols.
Exactly.
Yeah, symbolism is the most powerful thing.
Actually, going back to where we started, when we're putting the labels away, this is why I asked about the source, because before even the picture, there's the tone, the vibration, where there's no words. We're just here and I'm here. Is it just me? And then I bump into you and you're like, oh, I'm here. Now there's communication in that way without even words here. So I'm saying before that, there's vibration. Before we slow down our vibration to come down.
There's vibes,
and then to put the pictures together.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny when I go to a foreign country, for instance, and there's communication. There's no understanding of what we're speaking.
Yeah.
But we can communicate through body language.
Hungry.
You know, certain signs.
Yeah, but that's choreography. So there was a picture of someone like that.
You understand?
Picture of someone doing, go ahead.
And even looking at the deepness
I think we're going to be here a long time, you know. We got to get to the nuggets of the... But go ahead.
You know, when you're looking at these sciences deeper than deep, you know, just down to the touch.
Yeah.
You can tell if somebody touched you in love or...
Even a greeting.
Even a greeting. You can sense if there's negativity.
That's
or
what I'm saying.
Pessimism,
the energy and the vibe that you feel from...
Just from the touch. You understand? So,
or even the look.
Even from the look, yeah. So one of these things, again, when you're cleansing, when you're going through these initiations, and you're going through the diligencies of the practices and the skill sets, the meditations and so forth.
So you mentioned for the first initiation, it was kind of like mantras.
Yeah,
and the second one,
they're all sort of mantra related because the other beautiful thing about learning about the Sanskrit meters, the old traditional ones, they were known as rags, which is close to raga music.
Who knows if that's where it came from?
But there is a...
Yeah, you know,
you understand?
Yeah.
And the word rags is there's a sort of sweetness to the meaning of it, like the endearment.
How do you spell that, if you can?
It's actually pronounced rags, but it's spelled R-A-G-A-S. Ragas.
You know why I said that? I hear ra.
As well.
Right. Before the extra, the R-A is ra, as you know, you can hear the tone and we know.
Yeah.
We even use that ra.
Right. So
related to the ancient Egyptian god of...
Now watch this.
Ra. And
now who's Ra?
Keep going.
Now who's Ra? Just pretend I don't know. Who's Ra?
Well, Ra would be the highest deity. It depends which system you're using. Yeah, but the highest deity. We say Raye now as opposed to Ra because of the tones. This is where there's similarity.
Is there some
counter
relation to him being the sun god?
Tua, of course. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bhagavad Gita.
This is what I'm saying. The similarities is...
Yeah, it's deep.
Yeah.
So Bhagavad Gita, there's a powerful verse in there, chapter 4, I believe. It says this, I'm going to paraphrase it. This science was first taught to the sun god.
Yep.
And that's in Sanskrit. This science was first taught to the sun god.
Yeah. But like we say in Wu-Sabat,
now
everyone borrows sun. The sun is in everything. And
but just look at what it's saying. This knowledge was first taught to the sun god, not the Indian.
But you know why I'm laughing, yeah? As I hope those of you who've been listening and watching OSM Vision and our doctrine Wu-Sabat will see how when we say everything always goes back
to the one,
to Wu-Sabat, right? In terms of, not in the words and all of that, like we just said, like everyone starts off with a creation, and everyone starts off with the sun. No matter what ancient civilization you go to, it's relating to the sun. Look at all the logos, all the corporations, all the biggest, the sun. You see Jesus has got the halo on his head. It's always relating to the sun. So what we're saying here, when we start to delve into what a sun is, and as you know, we talk about Malachi chapter 4 verse 2, when it talks about the sun, S-U-N, of righteousness coming with healing in its wings. This is the sun that we're receiving every day to keep us here.
It's funny, chapter
And
4.
the energy, just what I'm saying. Funny, isn't it? But continue. I hope you guys are going to read between the lines. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful.
The sun, your solar plexus is referred to as the sun.
Oh,
solar. So yeah, it's all about, as you're saying, those inner.
Yeah, because the overlap to all of these initiations, again, is looking deep into the science of the chakras. The
This
science
little
of
sun
self.
of mine,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let
Let
it
it
shine.
shine. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, again, these disciplines into working with your energy centers, your sun center, your heart center, solar plexus, knowing what each
One does and how it all.
yeah
Yeah.
the substations, everything. It's an opportunity to get, again, not coming from a cultural place where I'm just born into it or taking in for advantage. I'm actually checking this thing out to see if there's any.
So let's get to the nuggets. So you went over there, you studied, you went through the initiations, and then what?
Absolutely powerful, because if one going to 2 weren't no good, there weren't no reason to go from 2 to 3.
It's true. You might say, boy, I don't know if I can continue this journey.
Exactly.
And check it out. Going from birth to life to death,
Right.
E to the A to the F to the C to M. First degree, second degree. Yeah, so first master degree. It's like, it can't be made any simpler.
Can't be made any
1, 2,
simpler.
3, A, B, C. Morning, day, night. It's like, go ahead. So you go from
so
1
there's
to
so
2.
many similarities, you understand?
And then and how can you have a 1 if there wasn't nothing before?
Exactly. So there's all those things that, you pick up as these key core concepts, and you're holding on to them.
Right.
So you know what's foolishness when you hear it. But when you're seeing things like, oh, okay.
That goes back to that first chakra where you can feel it and you can discern and be
You understand?
Yeah, you know the truth when you hear it.
Exactly. So the first initiation, like I said, was 16 mantras. The second one was 24 mantras. And the third one was 64 mantras. So...
And just for the listening audience, what mantras, obviously, they're chants, you have to explain it so that they know that in terms of what you're memorizing, and it's gonna, like 64 is like, because again, even in Islam they tell you most of the book was compiled with people memorizing the surahs, which we know those who didn't make the grade, they come out with a different recitation and confuse everyone because they just mumbled everything up. But when you're a true master, where you've made that initiation, you move on to the next.
Exactly.
And
let's
talk
about that on a real esoteric and scientific level. So scientifically, down to neuroscience, down to biology, the brain has been studied to this nth degree. They can press this on, you start ball. You press this on, you start laugh. You press this on, your hand go up. You press this one.
Yeah. They've deciphered the whole genome code now.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
In terms of activities and so forth, they can press the button. They know exactly where it happens in the brain. But abstract thinking cannot be mapped.
Can't. Because
Yeah?
It's
Hold on.
like it changes as you observe it.
Yeah?
Or when you're not observing it.
Right, so abstract thinking, you can't. Habits, impulses, they flash up as neurons in the brain. You can see.
That's right. Yeah, we actually have a book called Neuroscience of Wu-Sabat that,
Right.
if you really get into it. But yeah.
And these are what you could say sanskars in Sanskrit, the way how you programmed yourself to be on autopilot.
Yeah.
Now,
Or how somebody else programmed you to be on autopilot.
any which way.
Yeah.
Now, when you decide not to follow the stimuli, there is nothing in the brain that lights up. Showing that you have the willpower to overcome,
Override and reprogram yourself as
and
well.
reprogram what's
Yeah.
going on up there. Otherwise,
You just, yeah. And this is, I can see how your work later on from this study comes in, because people are addicted to all kinds of things. And these grooves that, as we've explained in Wu-Sabat, after you do something over and over again, there's a groove that is left. The neural pathways, that's the way the neurons are connecting to each other, communicating by the synapses, they leave a pathway, and it's like a record, like, you know, the
Stuck
vinyl
in the
record.
scratch, yeah.
You're just stuck in the scratch. So, like you just said, if you're able to reprogram it, it doesn't light up anymore. So the extraterrestrial, because this is where we're going to go into that, because, you know, we always talk about that. The programming is what I'm saying. Or even if you don't, we can use the word extraterrestrial because we bring it to real life. But let's just put that to the side for the moment. So you're saying by the initiations, by the studies of these
Yes.
things, you start to learn behavior and how you can
take the needle off.
take the needle off the record. Yes, this is. I hope you guys are really picking the nuggets in this, because this is what happens when you know, when you're with your brethren and you're talking. It's like, it's not Q&A, because like the Q&A thing is like, okay, no disrespect to anyone, but you might be new. You're just a baby language. You're starting to. But when you're with your friend, you just flow and you have a conversation, because the connection,
much that we
yeah,
connect.
energy, yeah. So
Yeah.
you just laugh, you joke, you know. That's why today is a bit more free flowing than
Yeah.
normal. But let's carry on, because I want to get
But
to
it's
the
good.
yeah. I feel the energy is good.
Yeah, I think it's definitely positive. So yeah,
So you learn how to reprogram.
absolutely.
And what was the third initiation? What
So
was
this
the
is where we're
challenge?
going into the third initiation. So you're going into the realm of working with that energy. So you remember, the second energy is to clean the senses. Now it's to use them.
Right. It's true. Again, I always say, you buy a brand new Bugatti, the best engine in the world, it's shining, everything is all there. You park it on your driveway. You never drive it. Like, what's the point? What's the point? All that energy, all that power, the pistons are ready to go. And you're just like, just look at it, you polish it,
Yeah,
and you
it's
just
crazy.
leave it. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, you know, it's like one of them rich people who buys stuff and put it in their
Yeah,
yard. Never
because they
use
can
it.
afford it. That's it.
But yeah, so
You have to use your brain, use your mind, use the free gifts you've been given, your heart, the love, use them. But go ahead.
So it fine tunes that process of the higher energy acting through you, for you, as you, where you can really appreciate a sense of gratitude and graceful living towards knowing that there's an energy that's working with your conscious energy, with your inner being. It's all about you at the end of the day, and how you align with
Manifest your reality.
your reality. So again, you said earlier, if you spell love backwards, it's actually if you spell live backwards.
That's evil. But I'm saying it's anagrams as well,
It's
right?
anagrams.
So you can jumble the words around. But
Exactly. But there, yes, but figuratively speaking, on an esoteric level, regardless of what language you want to use, there's a manual of how to do things and how not to do things, especially from an internal point of view. And the more that you do things correctly from an internal point of view,
This is why you have to discover the manual, so you can, not just discover it, but then read it. And we say, you are God, you are goddess, you are the being. So you have to start with yourself. But what's interesting, as you say, some people have no clue that the manual is there. Some people have been given a replacement manual, say this is the manual, but it's the wrong one. It's the real manual that is in you, that is written. You see, so that's why we say start from the bosom, of Allah, as they say. But yeah, go inward, and you start to read the manual, and then what happens next?
So you become the manual. You start to be. You
start to be.
You start to be like
I am.
The manual is working through you, for you.
I am that I am.
I am that I am.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
And what you start to bear witness.
Yeah, but the people with the wrong manual will say, "What am I?" Then
you understand.
You have to go and link up people who can help you to learn about you, the real you, and that's where,
Yeah, and these while these things are going on, I'm studying at Regent's College of Psychology. I'm doing my degree in psychology. So I know I'm just doing.
Yeah, you're in some illusional.
Yeah, so
I'm going to find myself.
You understand?
Look in the mirror. He was there all the time.
You understand?
Yeah,
so
but I hear what you're saying. So
I'm keeping a check
making
on reality.
sure I hear you, and that's such an important point, because that's one of the reasons. Actually, when I did my first degree and then my second degree, and it was like, remember from school, going back to what we've been talking about, you're not taught that you're capable.
That's right.
So most of us play around in school. We don't take studies seriously. We just do it. Oh, my mom and my dad sent me to school, so that's it.
Yeah,
and you waste your time and play in the commons room. Not everyone.
Let me just add to that.
Yeah, quickly. But I don't want to lose my thought. But then you have other races, Asian a lot of the times, that they study, they do their maths, they hand their homework in on time. With us, because it's already innate in us, we don't really take it seriously. So I guess the point I was trying to get to was that once you made me, I lost it. It will come back.
Let me jump in.
Yeah, jump in, and I might be able
where
to.
you was going.
Because you said something that was leading me to go somewhere, and then go ahead.
So just to pick up on what you were saying, we as new beings coming into this realm, the amount of buzz and excitement behind our energy, we are able to learn 5,000 words a year easily. If we're exposed to multiple languages, we'll learn it, sap it up like it's nothing. Now, the system is well aware of this, and they want to kill the genius concept.
Yeah.
So they slow down your learning input. So imagine, you can learn 5,000 words a year, but I'm only teaching you 1,000.
Or A, B, C.
What's going to happen? You're going to get bored.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's it. You got my point back. I'm glad you got it back. I was talking about, I had no interest in academia when I was growing up. We used to get in trouble all the time. And most of us don't want to learn maths. We don't want to learn, because we think, we just see equations and, we're like, we can't do that. So we get into the creativity more than anything. So a lot of our boys will leave, even though they're genius, as you say, right? They'll leave without much qualifications. They're bored because you've been dumbed down to the point where instead of saying A, they'll go, this is from cartoons, everything. A, B, they slow everything down to the C. And like, you're bored, especially as a young boy, as with all this energy, you want to run around, and then they have you sitting down in one place for hours. It's very slow. You're going to be bored. You want to get out. So most boys come out, black boys, without much achievement in terms of...
Because of this very thing.
Right. So then I was saying that I just did degrees and all of that for the sake of it. my interest in actually studying when I was doing my master's was, that's when I got the enlightenment. I came across Dr. York, I started to read the books, etc. And now I had a passion for learning and loving what I learned. I didn't want to learn IT and computers and all of that, which I was only really doing because it was a good career to get paid. I started to want to know about me, myself. So I started to read. My head was in Dr. York's books constantly all the time. So I'm saying that to say what you were saying, that if you are not bored with the manual of doing the mundane things because somebody has actually distorted it, you're going to take a bigger interest. So it was when I started to learn about myself that I enjoyed learning and education, not just doing it for the sake of it.
Exactly.
So it's like you come alive, really.
Yes, it's so important. And that's part of my learning.
So sorry, this is the point I was remembering. So the degrees, that's what you were saying at the time, because you were doing the degrees and all of that at the same time as the real thing. And that's what I had to do, because when we had all that information about extraterrestrials and this and that, and the master downloaded us with so much information that we were so ahead of time that if I didn't have the degrees and all of that, when you speak and say something, well, he's loopy, he's crazy.
That's right.
Give him an injection.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of our boys and people that are gifted get dumbed down, they act up, they get the programming, they end up in these mental institutions and so forth, and having lots of mental health. And the mental deals with what? The mind.
Exactly.
With the lights going off to the point where...
Yeah, it's one thing to sprain your ankle. It's one thing to sprain a muscle. Break a bone even. That's pushing it.
A broken heart even.
Broken heart even. But you see,
when
the
brain, mind...
When that break, it's very hard to get back.
But we have the formula.
Of course we do.
We just knit the neural pathways, reprogram. Yeah. This is such a key thing that we're touching on here. And the deeper work of when you go out to start healing the world and, you know what I mean, waking people up. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
we're literally performing brain surgery.
Literally.
Without any
brain
apparatus.
And heart surgery.
Brain, heart surgery, yes.
Yeah, and bringing back cohesion between the two. Because this is verily where the issue is. When there's decoherency between heart, brain and gut, you're heading towards your death.
That's right. And so you need to learn about your physical being, the diet, the thoughts, the mental, everything, the spiritual you. It's all a holistic science. And modern medicine, they didn't take that approach. They saw the finger as separate from the hand, separate from the leg, the leg separate from the heart, not realizing that everything is interconnected from the energetic being all the way to the physical being. So, you know, this is why you can think yourself into being sick. You can think yourself into wealth and health.
Absolutely. The big C word that everybody's running from. Where they're now saying that it's 2 in every 3. The core cause is anxiety, stress, and fear.
Right. And who is at the lowest spectrum of having fear, anxiety, stress? This is what our communities, those who are vibrating on the lower vibrations of like religions, etc., because the religion is a programming that's done through the book, through the labels, and have you in fear. That's what we're talking about, of going to a place called hell if you don't follow the rules of this book. And so people are afraid to let go of it and to rediscover who they really are.
It's really sad.
It's really sad. Remember I said rediscover. It's already in you. So yeah, you're right that that waking up and then now applying it, like you said, you can't just, you got the first initiation, second initiation. Now it's time to go and test and work and see if it works and if you can be. This is what Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, all these people are talking about, which is you right? At the example, it says, you know, through me you'll go to the Father. Not that you are the Father. You see, Jesus was saying, the things that I do, the healing, the love, the even if you don't accept the dogmas of the books and religion, the fact of love yourself as you love thy neighbor. You know, like it's like the principles of love are shook, healing, helping people.
Very
That's universal.
foundational.
Yeah, very foundational.
Yeah.
Right. So let's go on to how you started to actually put it to use, because I know you mentioned your
Yes.
company and
Yeah,
what
so-
you do.
Yeah, so as I started to relish the benefits of myself, greedily, selfishly.
That's interesting though, because
No, I say that. in
no,
the-
no, no. Listen to this. Just for 2 seconds. When you come into the world,
Yeah.
you're a little tadpole like a fish, right?
Yeah, of course.
Racing in water.
Yeah.
And the one who wins has to be selfish because
Yeah, you
they
have
won
to.
that race, and that's you. So you should be proud of yourself. If you've ever thought you've never won anything,
Exactly.
you won that race because greedily, selfishly, programmably, or however
because
you
here I
managed
am.
to be
I've got
the
a
one to
system.
win.
You know, the path of least resistance was affordable to me, in the sense that the efforting behind life had gone. It was easy to command abundance. It was easy to
flow.
flow. It worked. And regardless of outside whatever anybody was saying, I could literally just crack on with my thing because it was working. And it was up until that period.
Tell the people what you mean, but it was working.
It was working well, in the sense that up until the point of they brought in the program that stood for Certificate of Vaccination ID.
Hold it. I just got lit.
So, at the time of the program that started the Certificate of Vaccination ID, when the higher heads, per se, decided to pull the rug under most of humanity and create this whole
Pandemic.
Pandemic.
Or plandemic, I hear some
Plandemic.
people say.
That's-
Yeah.
that's when I realized the value of what I got, that my lifestyle, versus those that didn't have it. And I
Right.
saw people dropping like rice, and I'm like, no, I have to help. I have to help. Even though I was, the mantras and this and that and everything is working in my life. I had the discipline, and it's something hard to impart into someone if they
Who
don't
have it.
understand.
Yeah.
How do you get them operating at this level if their heart ain't even clean? You're trying to talk to a guy about.
I know. Excuse me. That's why you got to go amongst the people and help anyone and everyone.
Exactly. So you start to see, when you step into the field, you can see who's grading from what level, who's stuck in the mud on a physical level and got their tongue hanging out looking for physical experiences. You can see who's
Elevating.
and so forth when you step out into the field. So where I was in practicing for myself, self-care, self-discipline, and it was running. Nothing shit me. Even the time when the pandemic was on, I was out there doing service, curing people from, even when ambulances wouldn't turn up to save them. I'm going around with my Ayurvedic medicines and so forth. Poof, take this, do that, blah, blah. And they'd get cured.
This is the importance of healing by herbs and natural remedies.
The amount of
This is where you've got the wrong manual and you think pop a few white pills in and it's gonna just gets rid of the symptoms for a while and then it just comes back. And the confidence in yourself that you have the ability to heal yourself, where, as you said, the dreadful C word, like you leave it too late or it gets to a point where no matter what you do at that point, it's like, so health diet, eating well, rest, sleep,
All of these
relaxation,
things.
meditation, all of these things we teach all the time are paramount. And if you will only know when you start doing it and you see the benefits in yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of, it's sad. It's really sad. You know, I'm feeling a bit remorseful all of a sudden, knowing the personal ones, people that have been close that have died young, unnecessarily due to poor health conditions or
And just not having the knowledge.
just not having the knowledge. And again, the snapping of the mind. I've known people that's, you know, their mind has snapped. Now they're stabbing themselves in the eye with a pencil because they don't want to see.
Yeah, oh man, you touching me because I actually experienced that with a close
Friends, yeah.
yeah. And you're right. When this is where it gets deep, where the heart seat come in, because when you see the suffering of people
Yes.
around the world, and for me, Nuwapian Sabians, what is even more hurtful is that someone comes along and is trying to help and giving you these jewels, and then he himself gets put in a position where he's been suffering for so long, over 20 years. And so imagine someone who can help is put in a situation by the people he's trying to help.
Yeah,
It's
oh
like,
my gosh.
and this is when you try to speak to your personal family or people, and you're trying to say, look, we know the outcome of that behavior and that thing you're doing, whether it's burning chemicals, drinking, or whatever the vice or whatever it is, like not being respectful, you know, just whatever it is that we can see, either the mind's gonna snap, high blood pressure, diabetes, what do we suffer from mainly? Heart strokes. We're saying,
Yes, it's so.
and then the letters and the stress of the bills and the
lifestyle.
and then like you said, when that rug was pulled from under the feet, where
That's why I said,
the pandemic, and everybody was just like, for once, had to stand still and think, even just to think, like,
what am I doing?
what am I doing?
Am I a part of the problem?
Am I
or
part of the solution? Or how do I get out of this one?
Yeah.
Because for once, some people have had to be silent.
Absolutely.
They're not able to go out every day and party and just be distracted constantly from the real things that matter in life. So, yeah, that, I think, a shift took place. For some people, it was like, wow, I actually love who I am. I studied myself, spent time with myself, meditating. Now I can
I've
go.
got a new best friend.
Do you know what I mean? And so there was that division of ascending and descending souls, right?
Definitely.
So now you've got people who have realized there's a dimensional shift, a consciousness shift. People call it the Christ consciousness, whatever. But there's an awakening where you say, you know what? I need right knowledge. I need to know. And that's what happens with Wu-Sabat. When people get it, or they watch one video, or they read a book, it's like that buzz you had, like, I need to know more, I need to learn more. And then you get the scrolls, you read them, and then the next step is putting it into practice.
Putting it into practice.
And that in itself never ends, because
that's the key.
That's the key. You keep going, keep working, and so you healed people and done certain, and people when you say that you healed people,
it's crazy.
To them it's crazy. This is something we have the ability to do. You can touch people and heal them. This is where they're miracles of the religious people, but it's just alchemy.
We're vessels.
At the end of the day, we're vessels.
We're vessels
with the right information, transforming yourself inside out, learning the secrets.
Absolutely.
You will do anything you put your mind to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in that transition and all of that, I then started Transcending Matters, which was the company that I run now.
I like the name as well. I remember I said that to you.
There's a lot of resonance with
transcending as matter, as in matter, as opposed to matters, which are matters. You have all kinds of issues and matters. So yeah, I like the name. Transcending Matters. Okay, so What happened then when you formed that company?
So first started doing online courses, sharing the knowledge that I
Had
had.
acquired, yeah.
Okay, let me backtrack a little bit. Before Transcending Matters, there was another movement, should I say, which was called Capitolite Movement. And that was stood for Conquer All Fears and Live in True Existence. It was a big mouthful.
Yeah.
Capitolite.
Yeah.
Yeah. As, you know, conquer all
I don't like that
fears.
one, yeah, because it's like kafir like the kafirun, the people that
Yeah,
they lie and you know what I mean.
There's a lot.
This
There's
but
too
yeah,
much.
but
You
yeah,
understand?
transcending matters. I
Yeah.
do like.
So from the Capitolite thing, and it was very much, you know, me on road doing this, that, blah blah blah. I then moved to Portugal.
Okay.
This was 2019, come 2020.
Oh right, so that was around the pandemic time,
Yes,
or
this
even
is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, this is right in the middle
Why
of the
Portugal?
lockdown.
You just decided.
Well, Portugal had it had the gold standard of dealing with the pandemic scenario. It
Okay.
had the lowest case of reports. It was the easiest place to get your paperwork sorted out in terms of your residencies, because at the time Brexit was impeding as well.
Right.
So there was this.
Sorry, just for the listeners, Portugal is another city in Europe. So yeah, because we have a worldwide audience. So
Okay.
just in case they don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you decided to relocate to Portugal.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was like a hop, skip, jump plan. So hop out of the UK, skip into Portugal, and then jump into Africa. 'Cause
Right.
It's literally
The trajectory.
yeah, it's straight line. You know when it hop, skip, jump. So
Yeah.
it was too early to jump straight into
Yeah.
Africa,
Yeah.
and Portugal being right on the circumference, you know, just across the waters, you got Morocco and so forth. And it's a beautiful place. The ionic structure, the water, the area is absolutely clean and so forth. One of the least racial areas in Europe. One of the least.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't want to turn that one up too much in terms of understanding, looking at the racial pressure of what was happening during the COVID time in the UK. It was pretty.
And it's actually something that seems to be on the rise and escalating. Funny about the hop, skip, and jump. I was an athlete, which I kind of left to do more music, and then evolved into just having a passion for knowledge, and so I can relate to the hop, skip, jump. And that is actually still very relevant today, because there's a lot of racial tensions.
Yeah.
Even in the UK, and you know, we saw that, like you said, through that period, and even much more recently, and even if you look around Europe in general, with what's going on across the waters,
It's escalating.
it's all escalating, and yeah, so I like that, and that's something. The hop, skip, and jump is always the plan, and something in our trajectory as well.
Yeah.
As in, you know, I mean, Sabians and our land being stolen and taken away, and we are now dispersed all over the world, and we are worldwide anyway, but there was a land for us to convene and kind of live in that peaceful harmony, so you can chant to the Om and practice all these things in terms of putting it into practice. But yeah, so that plan of hop, skip, and jump. So you're in Portugal. Then what's happening
So
during
from
that time?
Portugal, I then started the online courses. First, there were 3. It was called the Breath of Life course, just to get people to listen, help them start with breathing, because it's very important.
Yeah, we actually have a scroll called the Breath. Very good scroll that you have to get if you haven't, because you can define your life as the number of breaths that have been allocated to you. And with all these other things we're talking about in terms of doing things to program yourself to shorten your life, you know, it's like something you can reverse by just taking that prana,
Good quality,
the chi, the
that's
good
right.
sakhem into your being that will, you know, keep you, vitalized,
Regulated.
etc. Yeah, regulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I first started. Take off the mask, breathe properly, so forth, and then
There's still people walking around with masks
I know
today from
it's
that
crazy.
time.
It's like
But
anyway,
who knows their particular circumstance? There may be.
they're in spiritually they're in a typical school that is they're like babies.
Tour.
Yeah, they're like spiritual babies in terms of, and again, anxiety, fear.
Yeah.
These things are
Stress
haunting.
and the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've as time progressed and as I saw transcending matters starting to bloom, it really resonated with me from a very authentic place. The role of all humans, especially in our position when we get
Deep into who we really are.
and we understand what service is and what aid is and our position, realizing this is what we've signed up for this lifetime. It's not necessarily about the riches and the glitter and the gold. It's about and building that in a communal setting that can further the enrichment of life itself.
Again, this is why it hurts so much, because that's what the master did by setting up that community that we call Tamaray with over 476 acres of land, where no matter who you were from any walk of life, even if you only came there on June 26th, which is known as Saviour's Day, or like our New Year, you experienced that love. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, people tell you Tamaray, Egypt of the West, was heaven on earth. You met different people. It was amazing. So exactly, again, what you were saying, how the service to the world, to humanity, of sharing that type of love and making you realize you are God. And it's funny because when you say that, people say, how dare you? Those are the spiritual babies. How dare you? Like, how dare you call yourself God? But it's like, it's actually every scripture, it tells you you're God.
Every single
You
one.
see, so, but there's different
Every single
types of gods. There's the real gods, us, the people that are walking the planet, because God came down when he came to the planet in Genesis 11. Let's go down there and come find their language, etc., etc. So there are gods that walk amongst the planet. And then you have the distortion of the God that no one knows or can't connect to, can't touch, can't see. It's just up there somewhere. And that's a disconnect, because now you're looking out and up to something that doesn't exist, when you should be looking to yourself to see that you do exist.
That God, that everything and nothing God.
How can you go wrong? It's like, can you sell someone a product that doesn't exist?
Exactly.
You don't need to manufacture anything but the dream. Like, imagine I'm selling you something. Can you see it? Here you go.
Right.
Give me £10.
Right.
Can't you see it? It's there, and you give it to me. I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to do anything else. I can sell you that dream all day long, and you have people walking around that have bought into this product that doesn't exist.
They've lost what's known as spiritual accountability. And they'd rather a savior do it. They'd rather someone else do it. They'd rather a prayer do it. They'd rather a blessing. They'd rather something else more than their own conscious accountability.
That's right. And you have to save yourself first. How can you go and save other people if you haven't saved yourself? Literally.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, it does start with yourself. And yes, that light bulb moment, I think, is important, because the light switch there, right? As we were saying, the car in the driveway, sometimes it has to be switched on. You have to turn it on. You have to spark it.
Yeah.
If you can't even play music if you don't turn on the keyboard.
You see it.
You see, so you have to spark it. And that's where, when those who have been sparked or touched, initiated, anointed, whatever word you want to use that resonates, once you've been touched by those who have been touched, it's a no-brainer. You have to go out and touch other people.
Yeah, man. That's it.
You have to help them switch that light
That's
on.
it.
Once you switch it on, you leave it. It's down to them. But
You don't have to
we
sit
help
there
to switch.
monitoring.
You don't have to monitor it.
No.
They start to read
That's
and
conditional
learn.
love.
That's right, unconditional love. So doesn't matter who it is, we help all. But of course, charity does begin at home, as they say, because if you can't help yourself, you're not going to help anyone. So you have to read the books. Wu-Sabat has to work for you from your inner being, because most people only recommend the product after they've used it and it's good. They say, boy, you know, that drink, that was so nice. I recommend. And that's word of mouth, you know. So don't believe the hype with the marketing that will tell you in glossy picture and, you know, this is the way. Like, face the east and pray. No, face north and pray. And like, why? If it's everywhere, why do I have to face one direction? So is it not in the direction? This is what the master was saying to the Muslim world. Like, you can't tell us we have to face one direction to pray to a being that's omnipotent and everywhere.
Exactly.
But these are the lesser mystery, the lesser distortions of the real truth. And the real truth is something that you have to find for yourself. From
you have
within.
to be a part of it.
You have to be a part of it. I'm in love of the all, and the all is a part of me, you see. So you're very much a part of the process. Don't just hand it to someone else. But you can have people call them mentors, idolizing people, you know, people that, because if you're the best at something I want to learn, that's what you're saying with the picture. I actually took the time to draw the picture, to put it there in case I'm gone. You can work it out yourself.
Work
You
it
know
out.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But yet, you know, you don't want to do it. It's like, you are.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it. I hope the message is coming across loud and clear that you have to take that journey. And they say you know, however hard, however long, however big the journey is, you have to start with that first step.
You have to start with this first step.
You have to take the first step. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, it's been a magical conversation.
It has.
So
I
far.
think this is just the beginning, because
Yeah, we gotta have more.
We are in touch on the tones and how you do it as well. Because you said,
I want to give you a real example.
yeah, there's so much. We cut out so much because I actually went out to Portugal and experienced this for myself. So I can speak from a position of, like we say, check it out. Like, don't just believe me, check it out. So went out there, it was beautiful, it was sunny, right by the beach. Man, it was nice. Then we did the sound healing. And then I actually went to a few of his events to see, okay, maybe it's just me. Do you know what I mean? So you have to sometimes check it out. I went to the event and there were loads of people experiencing the same thing. It was love, it was beautiful. So transcending matters is really helping and will help you to transcend. And what I would say in our closing is that, as we teach all the time, people try to label us and put us in a box, like, oh, a black organization, black extremist, and all these terms. Like, when you hear what we teach and what we talk about, both ourselves, it's like it transcends people, places, and things, because it goes beyond the labels. We are one, and it's down to you how the level of vibration and the attainment that you go to. Like, are you one of those people that's going to be like, 16, man, I'm done, that's just one? Or you're going to go to the next level and the next level, you see? So it's really up to you. But at the end of the day, all we do is point you in the direction. I was pointed in the direction of Dr. York, because there are many masters that have come here that all they do is master things like meditation, master things like you know, the attachment, mastered how to breathe. You know, these are all the elements that Wu-Sabat teaches you. And yeah, I was pointed in the direction, but the master makes you a master as well, in the sense of as a supreme being, as a god or someone who's had that level of attainment. You have to help others. You pull them up. And it doesn't matter who you are on the planet. If you're about that truth, endarkenment, going back to where the source lies and becoming a part of the source. That's what we're sharing. We're just sharing, and it's down to you. That's why we say, you know, the highest word we can use to explain it is all. In English, in our language, we say pa'ut, the all expanding, because at the end of the day, the highest is to become your higher self as an ethereal or pure energy being, which transcends and has no limit, basically.
Yeah, that's the stage above the mystic.
Yeah, and all the roots come from the beginning, and you just have to do your own research to go as far back as you can, and you will always find us there as the beginning. Remember, I said the beginning because there are many beginnings.
A beginning.
Beginning, you get to the end of a beginning, there's a new beginning. And so Wu-Sabat will take you from your completion of 360 degrees physical, as well as the 360 degrees, what people call spiritual, esoteric.
Yeah, it's funny.
Add them together, you get that 920 or 720, which is really 9 to the 9 power of 9. Sorry, go ahead, my brother.
It's funny you should mention that, because that always tickles me. In the Bible, it says in the beginning.
Yeah.
Not at the beginning.
And that's just basic grammar in English. You're like, this God, did he take GCSE English or something? Because it's like, it doesn't matter. How can you be inside something, but you're everywhere and can't fit inside something?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so yeah, that's been a good conversation. I'm sure we're gonna get a taste of the sound healing bowls. Because,
definitely.
I mean, we go back in music, which we didn't even really touch on, but when you're dealing with tones, sounds, and vibrations, it's that language without words, because you feel it, and it can transform and change polarity from negative to positive, and goes right into the cells. And you know, most illnesses, especially the big C, cancer word, is a lot of that is the cells. When the cells are lacking that life and that energy, that vibrancy, and you know, that's what happens. So we can reprogram ourselves in any shape or form. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. We're gonna have a taste.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump into it. This is something that, again, listeners can listen to it time and time again. This is gonna help with cellular regeneration. This is gonna help with so many things, from your physical, metaphysical, psychological zones, and just bringing a level of congruency and harmonization through your being, because we don't realize that edge of dissonance that we live in.
It's only 1 degree, in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can feel that frying in your body where you're just on edge all the time. That alone is cancerous. That alone is sickness. And the power of just frequencies alone, because the sound bowls, they're not only is just a pitch, there's tone, there's timbre, there's the quality of the tones as well, and the resonance in terms of its oscillation, that how it oscillates with the human body. The crystal bowls that they have, they're not as great, because the crystal bowls, for instance, they're monotone.
Yeah, I see a lot of people we may have to do a part 2 and go into more detail of certain things, but when you're saying resonance, that's, again, we can speak scientific terms, we can use words, but at the end of the day, we can explain it in a way that just makes sense. When
you oscillate.
You oscillate because it's a wave, it's movement. Everything has to oscillate because of movement, right?
So and you know about waves.
Exactly.
Square waves,
sine waves, right? So the sine wave, or the up and down, or the 1 minute I'm all right, the next minute I'm not all right, the stress and the depression, and so all of that gets balanced out when you just have a straight. So this is what we're saying about the center, where 1 degree either way can be a problem. You see, so a lot of our teachings, if you really go into the deepness and not the mundane religions and the egos and the divisions and all that, it's about you maintaining that balance at all times, in all ways and in all things, so that if you shift, you feel the vibrations off. So you have to bring it back. You can be two, one tone, you have a flat, you have the natural or the major, and you have the sharp. That's the oscillation again. It's like the major or being in that, if you're too laid back, let's say, it's going to be flat. You're too hyper, you're sharp. So we have to, if you're too sharp, come one this way. If you're too flat, come one this way. And balance. So we have our tones as FAC because every race is a bunch of, we use atoms or molecules vibrating, and some of them connect well with other, just like your brain. You have the neurons that they connect to form pathways to send information, which determines how your mind is operating, how your heart is connected to your liver and to your lungs and to your brain. So there is a science, but when we say resonant, we're just together. So we're just flowing when we're in unison and we're in the right resonance, you see. So naturally, doesn't matter who you are, if you're on that vibration, you're on that vibration. It's like if I pour water into water, if I pour oil into water, you see the separation, you see. So yeah, man, it's been beautiful. I'm looking forward to your demonstrations.
Definitely.
Tarun Hadas, we're definitely going to do this again, and we're going to work together on some of the courses and some of the things that we can help our audience
community,
with.
yes.
Yeah, and community. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
As usual, it's a pleasure.
Looking forward to more.
Tour.